On this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast, Monster Prison makes Liz's meat suit all dewy.
And Meg just took a DNA test. Turns out she's 100% that bitch. Let's do this. Welcome to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. I'm Diana.
And I'm Liz.
And this week we're going to talk about Season 6, Episode 10, Caged Heat. I don't know why I said it that way, but it seemed right.
Because you kind of have to say it that way. I think, Caged Heat. Because it all sounds like kind of noir, or like it's about like some police officers, or like Nick Nolte's in it. I forgot what Caged Heat was actually about, but for some reason I just think Nick Nolte.
That checks out. I don't know.
I didn't remember. I don't know. Let's go with that. So what's up? What is going on with Diana?
Diana's trying not to lose her mind, but she has had an excellent week or so since we've past spoken for the most part. Mostly being that our new music venue opened this past weekend. And was
too much fanfare. So if you, I highly recommend going through and just Googling Longhorn Saloon
Ballroom
and be in Ballroom, and enjoying all of the wonderful press. I think Texas Monthly, like all sorts of I was like, I kept looking for you. Like I saw your boss in a lot of pictures, and then I was like, I know where you were cropped out, and I'm like,
no, I got a couple good ones. I'm in there somewhere. But yeah, so we, it was a very successful, fun weekend with lots of great music and great people and a really beautiful installation of historical memorabilia of artists who have played the Longhorn Ballroom in the time for the last 73 years that it has been in existence. So it was really fucking cool. I don't know.
Anybody see a ghost yet?
No signs of ghosts yet, but a nice array of music and attendees. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. I don't know how much. I mean, awesome. So we had.
And
I'll go.
And what else? What else were you doing this weekend beyond opening an impressive music venue? What else was going on?
Celebrating my birthday.
Something. Yeah, that's right. Ooh, Diana! It was her birthday week.
It was.
So
yeah, we did a nice ribbon cutting, and then we did. We had a Sleep at the Wheel play, and the next night we had Old Crow Medicine Show, and my friend Joshua Ray Walker opened, and Robert Earl Keen showed up and sat with me and my husband and our friends, and then he got on stage and did a song, and he's supposed to be retired, so it's a big deal. And then the next night we had Caitlin Butts, whose shirt I'm wearing, Sad Yeehaw Vibes, and then Lucero played, and then Morgan Wade played, and it was good times. And then I ate a lot of cake and desserts and things and Mexican food not in that order, on Sunday. And then I ate a bunch of crawfish and with friends for another friend's birthday. I'm not mad at that either. So yeah, it's just been a lot. I am tired, if you will. So how about you?
So as if you're watching this on YouTube or our intros, you can tell I am finally not in my locked in my childhood bedroom anymore. I have escaped San Antonio and have been allowed to sort of get back to my life, but not really. Like I'm still pretty much chained to a lot of things, but it's better. At least I have my space, and the cat is very, very excited. She is just like, oh, all this space is mine. So that's pretty good. But I also know that the other cats are still using the litter box because of the app. So I know when the litter box cleans itself because it tells me.
That's
so
nice.
I guess if anything, yeah, that's the update I get from my mom's house. Litter box cleaned itself. It's pretty good.
That is good. Yeah. I mean,
what else? I was going to talk about something else too, and I already forgot what it was. I'm also very tired.
Bezos.
About what?
Bezos is in
about
your house.
Bezos. Amazon.
Alexa.
That finally, I have put an Alexa device in my house. She kept whispering Bezos, and I was like, it just kept going penis. That's all I could think. So,
Dick ship. No,
but because of this vain attempt to try and like keep track of my mother in another house, I have just because I said vein and penis, now you're laughing. Yeah. And so I, was trying to make her home more smart, which is, not an easy thing to do with a woman who is having, memory loss issues and who doesn't really like. Today she called and asked me how to set the alarm and, for her to get up in the morning, because she's convinced that her other alarm clock that was easier, even though like it was always in some state of like half on and the clock was never right on it because she kept like hitting it. And now she just has to tell, I'm going to set alarms for everybody, but she just tells Alexa to set an alarm. And
but
I had to,
it's a technological adjustment too. I mean, that's difficult.
It is, but, just like, okay, we're going to write this down. And again, you say her name, say my name. And then, you tell it what you want it to do.
Right.
And this is an alarm clock. So you tell the alarm clock to wake you up. I also realized because I've connected like the hubs between our houses that I could probably just set that alarm clock for her.
You probably could. That's probably accurate. But
yeah, it's very creepy. I mean, the camera's turned off on it, but I mean, whatever. This house is getting smart, but now we're just going to go all the way with it. Because once it's there, they're like, well, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like now this is going to become the Jetsons' house.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to go all in.
Yeah. I mean, why else
automate everything.
Why else would I do this? Like, yeah, if I'm being surveilled, it might as well be worth it, right? Like someone better, like, I'll find a way to automate a robot bringing me wine, but not the Alexa robot, not that one.
No, not the one that wants to be your friend or whatever it is. Isn't that some weird thing?
Yeah, the one. Yeah. I mean, I'll just like find a way to like animate a real sex doll.
I don't know if
like,
that's
make her
more
my friend.
or less creepy.
Is it? I mean, like she like maybe
but
they
can't
wear
walk,
clothes.
so do you have to like put it on like a skateboard and let it? Like...
I don't know. I'm betting some of them can walk. I haven't checked. We should. It's been a while since I dove into where the porn industry is. With making make believe women. I'm sure they've gotten quite far, and that's where robotics will get its highest advance will be because of sex dolls. Thanks, porn.
I'm trying to decide if that's more upsetting than AI or not.
Well, everything that has to do with the internet is all because of pornography. I mean, it's why we have video. It's why we have everything. So, I mean, and they're the ones who will make AI better than it needs to be because someone wants to do something weird with a doll.
Well, on that lovely note, why don't you tell us about this episode? Because I can't go down this path anymore.
Diana's like, I'm twitching. Yeah. I'm twitching a little.
Yeah.
I've been twitching all day, actually. So it's been one of those days. So this was season 6, episode 10. This first aired December 3rd, 2010, and was directed by Bob Singer. The teleplay was by Brett Matthews. Remember him from Live Free, Try Hard. And also the story, he's got credit for the story, as does Jenny Klein, who is one of the... Damn it, I'm going to get it wrong. I should have written it down. But, an assistant who basically had this idea, right? And so there, I have seen some criticism of this episode. And I will say, while it's not my favorite episode, it has 2 of my favorite lines from the entire series. So,
okay.
Easily in my top 5 to 10. Yeah, probably like top 5 lines, maybe at least top 10, definitely. So,
okay.
And now that I am back at home, I do finally have my supernatural book. Yes, I know I have anecdotes and stories to tell, but I'm going to have one. I'll keep it for later. But
okay.
Anyway, so let's just jump into this and start off with
Crowley is tied to a chair. And
no, he's not tied. He's chained
to a chair and very bloodied. Like he's
if you're going to
you're
explain my fantasy, I want you to explain it correctly. Okay, now start again.
Crowley is chained to a chair and it seems to be bloodied up a bit, as though he's been beaten a little bit, like the bad boy that he is. Is that better?
Okay, you were real. Yes.
You're welcome.
Okay, now.
But who's beating him up is
on,
the question.
Yeah, so he's beating himself.
Up, not off. And apparently he is torturing / questioning the individual that's chained to the chair about purgatory. So as we can deduce as watchers of this show, the person that is chained to the chair is not actually Crowley, but the person doing the beating and torturing and questioning is, because he's the one that wants to know about purgatory. So, and then one of his questions is, are you the alpha? And because, or I have an alpha and I have this crazy blade that I can harm you with because you're a shifter.
Okay, so the blade that he has, he's very happy with his, very proud of his blade, right? And he says it's made of iridium, and that it would have been cheaper to drop a castle on him. Yeah. All right. So I, of course, went down an iridium rabbit hole, including the fact that there is an entire satellite constellation named Iridium. Like there's a company named this, and those satellites have like decayed and like started running into like, you know, other satellites, causing all this space garbage, like super rabbit hole. But the average price for iridium in 2021 was $5,100 US per troy ounce. And that was the highest value it was ever recorded. Troy ounce is a stupid measurement system, right? And so basically a troy grain, nope, I'm not reading that. That's stupid. Okay. 1 troy ounce equals about 31 grams, which is about a half a pound, right? So a pound of iridium is like $10,000. So that's like 10K. So that knife, like how many like pounds do you think that knife is?
Like a pound, maybe. If probably less. It's not really that heavy.
Right? Like, so like,
unless it's like a super light metal, like, I don't know, and you need a shit ton of it to weigh. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's like $10,000, which is far less than a castle.
That's a lot less than a castle.
Listen, math. Sorry.
So maybe
Stop
demons
being so
can't
proud
math.
of your iridium knife.
Maybe demons can't math.
Maybe. Math is hard.
So after a while, they're going back and forth, and Crowley stabs him and tells him that he then he pulls out a baby monitor because he has a nursery full of shifters. And this is weird and creepy and is going to kill them all.
So bad.
He's going to fillet them and toss their spines in your lap. Because that's dark and gross and creepy, because there's this whole other ethical moral dilemma we've talked about like the shifters
killing babies. Yeah. You're still killing babies. Yeah. And I like Crowley a little less at this moment. He's a little less sexy.
But our alpha shifter says, kill them all, we'll make more. So Crowley beheads him.
And then he's back in my book. So, you know. But then like his head he cuts his head off, and then it just like rolls on the floor. And then I'm just like, I really want a Crowley head.
Well, then Crowley says, kind of lost my head. All right. So guess what we find? Another industrial site, and it's nighttime. Yay. And baby rolls up with Sam and Dean, and they pull a hooded rugarus out of the car and are handing it over to 2 demons.
No, they're handing them over to the world's sassiest demon.
They are very
He
sassy.
is like officially the sassiest demon of all time.
He is. And Dean wants to know where Crowley is, though. He's like, and this sassy demon's got fucking jokes back, like you would expect a sassy demon to do. He says something about banging a hooker in a sweet spot called none of your business. Okay.
Ooh, damn. But it is not nearly as good as what he says when Dean wants to know if they'll ever see Crowley again. And I honestly remember watching this episode when it was, first came out, or when I first saw it, and immediately texting like my best friend and being like, "Oh my god, oh my god." So, I mean, do you want to say it? You want me to say
I will
it?
leave you the honor of the delivery.
So the sassiest demon puts on his sassy pants and he says, "I'm sorry. I know you're speaking. I see your lips moving, but I can't understand what you're saying because I don't speak, little bitch." And then he just flaunts away with his rugaroo. Drops his mic and leaves. Oh,
mic drop. Yeah,
so good. That line is
yeah. So Sam and Dean are back in there.
Did it also, I just want to know, like, how did it make you feel?
How did it make me feel? It was hilarious.
Okay.
I was like, damn. It was a good one. So we got Sam and Dean back in their old house. Dean wants to is done working for Crowley and makes a really gross comment that I don't even want to repeat. But Sam's like, well, we don't really have a plan B. This is kind of the only way to get my soul back. So we kind of have to do it. But we get this conversation, and I think this is a carryover from the last episode, and it carries through this episode all the way to the end of it. With Dean asking Sam, does Sam really want his soul back? And can we even trust Crowley is the other question.
And the answer is no. He doesn't have a soul. Why are you asking him? That question is stupid.
But as they're in the middle of this conversation,
Sam, he doesn't. Why would he care?
Sam
he doesn't have a soul.
Well, yeah, but Sam just disappears in the middle of the conversation, and Dean's kind of annoyed, and then he realizes, like, oh shit, no, he disappeared. Actually, gets his pistol out.
I know, but there's part of me. It's just like, I love you, Sam. Just walk away because you're tired of listening to Dean.
So he finds Sam unconscious on the floor, and then Dean gets bonked on the head, like you do, and they get tied up with rope to chairs. To be clear. Facing each other. And
again, how is Sam getting knocked out if he doesn't sleep?
I guess getting knocked out is different than sleeping, right? I mean, is it that he can't sleep or that he doesn't need to sleep?
Well, I don't know. They just say he can't. I mean, I don't know if he tried. Like, did he go through? Did he get some melatonin? Did he try and find that right gigahertz of sleep sound to go through? Put on the eye mask.
Yeah, maybe some CBD, got some shit going for himself. I don't know.
Get a CBD gummies. But Sam is going to come to in his chair, and who is it?
That bitch Meg.
My favorite evil bitch.
Yep, that bitch Meg is back. But
now she is 100% that bitch Meg. Then now she's just been elevated to 100% that bitch.
100% that bitch. Yeah, but she wants to know where Crowley is. And this is kind of an interesting turn. She knows that they work for him. And Sam's like, look, we don't really even get to talk to him. We don't fucking know where he is. But she's like, no, I want y'all to talk. So she's threatening to kill them. And there's so much sexual innuendo. She's laying it on thick. But Sam starts laughing in the middle of this as she's got a knife to Dean's throat, and Dean is not amused. But Sam has pieced together.
Okay, but she's like, but she just says, okay, I just had this line work though because she's like, I'm officially over the foreplay. Satisfy me, or I please myself.
Yeah, she did.
100% that bitch. Yes,
yeah. But Dean's not amused in this situation, but Sam, probably because he's soulless Sam, is able to see the very logical situation is that she's pissed because she can't hurt them because she's on the run she needs to know the information. She's on the run from Crowley. So, yeah.
Because she's a Lucifer loyalist.
Yes.
And I love the alliteration of that.
I do too. It's a good one. That's a good one. But Dean's comment is, I hope you both lose, which I think is funny. He's like, fuck Crowley, fuck Lucifer. I want you both to lose. But Sam's like, well, hey, no, how about this? Why don't you work with us? We'll help you get to Crowley. But before you chop him to bits, we need information from him. And his delivery it's so good. It is. Dean's still not stoked on this plan. And we learn here though that Meg apprenticed under Alistair in hell, in addition as did Dean, so she can probably make anyone, including Crowley, talk under torture.
And now it's time for hugs and puppies. Yay! All right. And at this point, this is where you start seeing Meg's backup dancers.
Yes.
And I don't know, like, they're backup dancers from, like, the last Guar video or what, but one of them is just making, and this one, he's just, like, Mr. Clean, so probably... Go ahead.
I just called them Baldy and Ponytail here, so your names might be better.
Yeah, so I think this one, he was in his Anthrax cover band, right. And so he just like makes this like meaningful eye contact with Dean, and Dean's just uncomfortable because he should be.
Yeah,
like,
it was very uncomfortable.
Stop looking at me.
Yes. So, but they leave the brothers tied up. But obviously, Sam and Dean are capable of getting themselves out when they have some time. So, and Dean is like really questioning what Sam's like doing here. He does not like this plan, and Sam thinks it's a perfect way to get to Crowley. So, but Dean's like now. So we're gonna work with more. We don't like working with one demon, so we're gonna work with more demons. How does this solve anything? And reminder. And this was a good reminder to me too. Meg's the responsible party for the death of both Ellen and Joe. So that's a big, difficult challenge to ally with.
Yeah, I think that is unforgivable, right? Like I was like, okay, like, working with a demon. Working with a demon's one thing, but working with a demon that killed, Ellen and Joe, to me, that's unforgivable. Like I would never do that.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
But Sam's still like, no, I got this. It's all logic, no emotion, and we're going to screw her and her team too. So it's fine. I'm going to go get some insurance. And his insurance is to walk outside and start calling to Castiel. And then no answer, of course. But then I'm sure you love this too. He starts rambling on to the sky to trying to get Cass's attention about a gold box and Nazis and the Ark of the Covenant and melted faces. And Cass appears quite quickly. And Sam makes fun of him because that is the plot for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, literally the plot for Raiders. When does the new Raiders come out? I know we've gone off this tangent before. I'm not doing it again. Okay, so.
But Cass is mad. He's like, you fucking lied to me. I'm in the middle of a battle and it's not going great. And he's like, no, you owe me. Sorry. Castiel, you've got to come help. Doesn't matter that you've got your pissing match with Raphael going on. And that if you don't help me, I will hunt you down and kill you. That took a turn. So Castiel is not impressed by this threat, really. His response is,
well, but also, I'm just, yeah. Go ahead.
He goes, will you, boy? How?
And this is where I'm just like, what the fuck, Cass? Like, he's watched you kill other demons. Other angels. Like, he knows how to kill angels.
Yeah. But
Sam's like, no, I'll find a way. And I'm like, yeah, he's got that blade right there. He just stands there.
Use that thing that's in his waistband. I don't know. Yeah. So
not in an angel blade holster.
Not in an angel blade holster. So next scene we see Sam and Castiel walk in, and they just kind of play it off like it's no big deal that he's there to help. Yeah, it's kind of weird. So Dean does not know that Sam just threatened Castiel. So Castiel's going to try to do a spell to try to source or try to locate Crowley. Doesn't work. So they've got to do it another way. And they're searching, and
they had to do some dick work. They had to do some dick work in Grandpappy's shack.
Yeah. Ew.
Sorry. So they're in Grandpappy's shack, and of course, here comes Grandpappy Samuel.
Yeah. Little Samuel walks in, busts them, and they're like, hey, yeah, we didn't know where Crowley is. And Samuel's like, yeah, I'm not going to help you do this. And they figure out finally learn what Crowley has over Samuel. And it's that Crowley promised to bring back Mary if if Samuel works for him. This is kind of like I found this really weird and sad, and it made me mad too.
Oh no, the whole thing gets very weird and sad. As it goes through, it gets even weirder and creepier. But also just like, what, so Crowley can just bring back anybody from the dead? Like, is there a limit on this? Like,
it seems questionable.
That seems like a very weird power for like people to have. Or demons, or King of Hell, whatever. Like,
there has to be a limit on it. There has to be a price on it. There has to be something. Like, you can't just bring people back willy-nilly. Like, I don't get how that works. And like,
magic has consequences.
Yeah. It's balance in the universe and shit. Like, I don't know. It's just odd. I don't like it. And it doesn't really...
Yeah, and also just Samuel himself is weird. Like, he's just creepy.
Weird.
Like, he's just creepy. And, you know, like, he's not a good grandpa. That means also, like, a lot of grandpas are creepy. So
basically, Samuel's trying to say, like, well, you try to tell Dean, like, the reason that, you know, you don't care about bringing her back is because you learned how to live without her. Yeah, because their mother died when he was a small child.
Why aren't you?
It's
why
so
aren't you trying
fucked
to bring
up.
back your wife? Like, why are you bringing back your daughter?
And he's like,
it's just,
Dean's
it's
like,
gross.
This is not right.
I don't know why it feels gross. It feels gross.
It's just weird. It's just weird and odd, and it doesn't feel like it's pure. It seems to come from a place of pure selfishness, not out of love for anybody else, and that's what it is. Uncomfortable about it. So, but Dean calls out. Like,
honestly, no, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna go straight up and say, no. It seems incestuous. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel that tinge on it. Like, he's too obsessed with his daughter.
It's weird. So
it's weird.
And Dean's calling him out. He's like, this is not going to go anywhere good. And, you know, we're all family. And how are you? And that we've all fallen into this. This is our own family's Achilles heel of trying to bring somebody back. And how the fuck are you going to explain to her that you didn't help your grandsons, her children, and sold them out to a demon to bring her back from the dead? Like, I don't think that's going to fly. Like, Samuel has not thought this through. You try to explain that?
Like,
Samuel has not
Mary would be like, what the fuck? Like my son didn't have a soul, and you were like, just for like, no, she would be so mad.
Oh, furious. So anyways, I think that's fucked. So they end up leaving without the real info. So we've got Sam, Dean, and Castiel sitting around. Well, Sam and Dean are researching. Castiel is watching television in the house.
You know, he's just watching TV in the motel.
What's he watching, Liz?
But he's not just watching TV. He's watching porn. And why? Because it's there. Which is, like, frankly, I think how most porn gets watched. Just like, why were you watching that? I mean, it was there. Like, which is what always, like, whenever you see something on, like, a crime show where they talk about, like, or even, like, you know, true crime or, like, Law and Order type thing where they're, like, and they just, like, say, like, what porn was in his browser history. I'm like, are you sure, like, he didn't just, like, click on that? Like, he just saw, like, you know, it was just there. I mean, you know, so, you know, but anyways, he is watching the world.
I can relate to that.
I don't know. You don't spend enough time on Pornhub, I guess. So, but Castiel is watching like this pizza delivery guy porn, and it's like the world's most wholesome porn. And compared to the porn of today, like, yeah, I kind of want to bring this back.
Porn with
and
plot?
Like, can we just have a market for like, just this nice like retro porn? You know, like there's a plot, like there's a pizza guy, and he like wants to deliver his pizza and get his dick sucked. It seems so nice.
Well, I like Castiel's breakdown of it is it's complex. If the pizza man truly loves his babysitter, why does he keep slapping her rear? The age-old questions.
The age-old question. And, this makes Sam and Dean very uncomfortable. But somehow Cass has a boner.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's also very, like, excited, like, just interested in the fact that he has wood. Like, is this the first time Jimmy's gotten an erection?
Well, not Jimmy, because Jimmy had a kid.
But, I mean, Cass in Jimmy.
Well, probably. Maybe? That's possible.
I mean, like, don't men just have boners, like, of their own accord? Like, as far as I understand, that shit just happens sometimes.
I don't know. Does the angel sleep? Because that's the thing, right? When you wake up. I don't know.
Do angels get morning wood? Let us know in the comments. All right. So Samuel comes in.
Yeah. So Samuel shows up.
Which is also like,
Real
they
awkward.
are not nearly as embarrassed as they should be
About the porn?
for the grandpa watching it and them watching porn. I don't care who you are. That shit's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's awkward. Yeah, he calls him out for it, but oh well. So Samuel tells him, look, because...
so he's just like, he's, oh, sorry, are you going to tell the line or not?
No, I was going to skip it, but go for it.
Yeah, so Samuel is just like, so, this is what you do? Like, sit around watching pornos with angels? And Cass just goes, we're not supposed to talk about it.
Because he just got scolded.
Adorable.
It is. But Samuel came around a little bit because he's like, look, this is what Mary would want. Here's a map. And this is where Crowley's been taking all the monsters for torture. But it's a fucking death trap. I wish you wouldn't do this. Sam invites him to join. He's like, I may be soft, but I'm not suicidal.
Well, and Sam, like, sincerely, and this is also what's, I don't know, like, so there's so many problems with Soulless Sam, right? Because how, like, now he was sincere. He was like, come with this, like, yeah. Or maybe he just thinks that's what he's supposed to say.
Well, maybe that, and just probably betting the odds of, like, more help means better odds for them, and someone that knows the place. I don't know. There's probably a lot to that. So we get Sam, Dean, and Cass meet up with Meg and now 3 of her minions. She immediately makes
and her merry band of demons.
Yeah. Back
they just got back from their nightly gig at Gill's Roadhouse, where they do all classic Southern rock covers,
of course. And she makes a Clarence joke, and Castiel promptly calls them all abominations. So.
And then Meg says, also, the thing that is in my top 5 lines, along with the other one, is Meg tells him, and also I think this is why I love, like, Rachel Miner, just like the delivery of this line is so good, like, and the chemistry between Cass and Meg is awesome, right? Yeah. And so she just, like, turns to him, she's just like, keep talking dirty, makes my meat suit all dewy. So good. Her delivery was just, so awesome.
Yeah.
I know you're huying, but it was so good.
Yeah. So Sam says, look, we're going together. You need to give me your fucking demon knife. And she does. And he immediately stabs one of the demons. And he says,
yes,
look.
The Rob Halford, the Rob Halford wannabe.
Because he's like, look, that one was more interested in killing Sam and Dean than it was our job, so I just did us all a favor. Oh, or was he just making a statement? Or was he actually saving them all a hit? Because he could read that. So...
Yeah, and this gets very Sharks and Jetsy. He just, like, walks off with a knife.
Yeah.
And then Meg's like, hey! And Sam's like, you took it from me first. And like, meet you by the soda fountain in an hour.
Yeah.
When you're a jet, you rack your gun for no reason. He's just like racking his gun why are you racking your gun?
And very ominous music.
Okay, whatever.
So we've got them prepping, and Castiel is not stoked about this plan. And especially, we're breaking into, as Dean calls it, Monster Gitmo. That's not ideal.
And that is not exactly a 2-for-1 in the champagne room.
But Castiel starts relaying some interesting information that we have not heard or been privy to before. And that is that it might not be that wise to get Sam's soul back, actually. It has been locked in a cage with Michael and Lucifer for more than a year, and they've had nothing to do except for take out their frustrations on it. The soul could be mutilated, and it could be catastrophic to put it back inside Sam, which would be worse than death. He probably won't be fine. He might be like a catatonic. It's not good.
It's very confusing too, because it's like their catnip banana toy, and they're tossing it back and forth at, like, the soul. But I'm like, okay, I guess maybe just I don't. What the fuck is it? I guess, like, is it like a soul material? Like, what are they?
Well, I mean, I
tossing?
guess if he's going to give it back, it has to be somewhat tangible, right? Because how are you going to return? How could it be locked in a box and be returned to its owner if it wasn't somewhat tangible? Maybe it's only tangible in hell. I don't know.
I don't know. Y'all, if you can tell us what a soul is, would also appreciate that.
I mean, if you can tell
All
people
right,
what a
so
soul is, you've got way bigger things than sharing it with our podcast.
Yeah.
So,
No, you share it with me because, and then that goes right into my cult. So we're outside this asylum, right? And so if you read the transcript for this was like one of my favorite things ever. And obviously you learn the line later, but just in the transcript it says exterior, outside, Crowley's monster prison.
Crowley's
And
monster prison.
I want Monster Prison to be a TV show. Please, Netflix, make that happen. And that can happen in many other ways. But since we are going to visit this monster prison, I'm going to take Diana on a stroll through Monster Prison.
Okay.
So she's going to meet all our inmates. Well, more accurately, I'm going to quiz her about the inmates that are inside Monster Prison.
Okay.
Okay. And all of the answers to this are going to be based on supernatural lore, not Liz lore or the lore in the world in general. I don't know why I think like Liz lore is like, that's the shit that's correct is what I tell you. But this is going to be based on what's in the show. Okay. All right. So question number 1, in season 1, episode 6, a shapeshifter takes on someone's form and says, "See, deep down, I'm just jealous. You got friends. You could have a life. Me, I know I'm a freak. And sooner or later, everybody's going to leave me." Whose form is that shapeshifter taking? These will not be multiple choice.
Dean?
It is Dean. Woo! Yeah. All right. So in question number 2, in season 2, episode 6, the bank employee Ronald works out that something not human is behind the crimes, but he doesn't identify it as a shapeshifter. What does Ronald think it is? I can give you a hint, but I won't give you multiple choice.
I know. I mean, I remember the episode. I'm thinking I just can't remember. Did he think it was an alien? That's what I don't remember now. Damn it. No.
You want a hint?
Yeah.
No? You just want to get it wrong? Okay. It was a mandroid.
That's right. Mandroid. Oh.
Yes, the hint was me part man, part machine. And so I was
hoping
to creep you out.
I took the loss.
Question number 3. You have to take the loss, man. All right. So you're even out to 0 now, right? You know what?
Mm-hmm.
All right. In season 4, episode 5, a shapeshifter appears as classic Hollywood monsters. Dracula, Wolfman, the Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
What festival is happening in the town?
That was such a good episode, too. It was a German festival. Was it Oktoberfest?
Okay. It was Oktoberfest. All right, you're back up. You're back up. Woo. Now, so you say it's a German festival. Like, what other German festival would it be?
It's been sad. That took me a minute. Oh, there's some bitches with beer mugs and freaking like later hosing
and dirndls.
Yeah, there.
I really know I need a dirndl. Like I'm kind of like made for. I think my ancestors were poured into dirndls Anyways, okay. So question number 4. In season 6, season 6, episode 2, a shapeshifter is imitating men, impregnating their partners, and then returning when the child is 6 months old to kidnap it. Sam and Dean rescue one of them. What do they name it?
It's like Bobby John, right?
It is Bobby John. Like a Diana retaining knowledge. All right. Question number 5. According to the lore in season 4, episode 4, Metamorphosis, the rugarus is a result of a genetic mutation. What act triggers them to turn into a monster?
Oh, I can't remember. I forgot.
You get that?
I give up.
It's eating a person.
Oh, yeah. I thought I was eating something,
Enjoying
but I didn't
the
know
log
what. And I was
pig.
like,
Yep,
yeah.
chowing down on a person. All
Yeah.
right, so you're down to 1. But I got to say rugaroo again. All right, question number 6. In season 2, episode 20, after he is poisoned by a djinn, Dean lands in a wish verse that's based on his innermost desire. What was Dean's desire?
I'm trying to remember. I feel like Mary had something to do with it. Does that check out? Yeah, Mary was alive.
It checks out. Yeah, it was that Mary had not been killed.
Yeah.
And so he and Sam were not hunters.
Right.
They were
he was like a mechanic and she was alive. Yeah.
Yep. And all right. So, question number 7. Ghouls. According to season 4, episode 19, ghouls take the form of what?
I mean, they're people that eat people, right? I mean,
people who eat people.
Yeah, kind of. They're kind of like zombies, but not.
Yeah. So but so they take the form of
what they ate, the person they ate.
Yes, you are what you eat.
Ugh.
Yes. So they take the form of the last person they ate. Okay, so wait, now you're 3 or you're 2? I'm not good at math. Okay, so number 8, ghoul still. How do you kill a ghoul?
I forgot. I'm thinking. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to take a loss on that one. I don't remember.
You take off their head.
Damn it. When in doubt, decapitation. Why didn't I just say that?
So when in doubt, take off their head.
Yeah.
Well, where we typically learn this, and it does happen again in this episode, after I guess before we, whatever.
Yeah.
But in season 4, episode 19, Jump the Shark, we saw that when Sam decapitated Adam's mom with a shotgun.
Ugh.
Just by blowing off her head, and Dean bashed in his brother's brains, which this show's really disturbing.
Pretty dark.
Okay, question number 9.
Mm-hmm.
According to season 1, episode 20, Dead Man's Blood, a vampire is created when a person ingests vampire blood.
Right.
But the transformation is not complete until what?
Till they drink from another human.
Correct. Woo! Yeah. Get the vampire lore on. And we'll finish out with one final question.
Yes.
In season 6, episode 5, Live Free or Twi Hard, Sam and Dean are investigating the disappearance of girls. What was the name of the last victim who had an obsession with vampire poetry?
I want to say it was Kristen, but I'm not sure. No.
It was Kristen.
Awesome.
Woo!
Yay.
All right, Diana.
I got 7 right. Yay.
I'm going to start making it like I'm going to make it like a cosmopolitan quiz. Okay. Next time there will be categories based on how many you get right. So with that, I will say you are a supernatural phenomenal fan and you have been paying well attention to your monsters.
Yay. Woo, woo, woo. So now we enter
the world's best haunted house.
Monster Jail. Yay, Monster Jail.
Yay, Monster Jail. Which really does, I'm pretty sure 75% of yes, it should definitely be a show. But also I'm pretty sure there are haunted house production companies that make this haunted house
I think so too.
happen like every year.
Yeah. So Castiel is able to get them inside, but they're like, this is too fucking easy. But oh well. So they're going to start searching like they do. And they're walking past cells, and they do get like, you get a good startle moment when something flashes its face and screaming in one of the windows in one of the cells. And then we walk by the female djinn that we saw get captured earlier this season. So that was interesting too. And she is chained up and begging them for help. It's kind of sad, actually, but they don't help. They just keep walking. So they're walking, but then Castiel hears something, so he tells them to wait. And oh no, guess what? Him and Meg hear. The guard dogs are there. What kind of guard dogs does Crowley have? Hellhounds, of course. Duh.
Of course.
So they start running, and 2 of the backup dancers get taken down by the hellhounds. But luckily, Meg...
Oh, no.
Yeah, sorry. Meg, Castiel, Sam, and Dean are able to close some double doors and block them, but it's not going to hold the hellhounds for long because those motherfuckers tough. And they're like, hey.
Oh, damn it. I think I missed one of my lines. Sorry. When one of them got eaten was going to say the bass player from that Fish cover band.
So, Meg's like, fuck this. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to cock smoke out. I didn't know this was going to happen, but I'll be pulling for you from Cleveland. Seacrest out is what she says.
Seacrest out. But,
Doesn't work.
You can't.
She can't.
You stuck.
Can't do it inside the walls of the monster prison. So Sam's like, well, here, why don't I give you the blade, the demon blade, and you can hold
and
the
Dean
dog.
also says, Dean also tells her that Karma's a bitch. So
yeah,
burn, Dean, burn. No, you're not as good as Meg. Sorry.
But so Sam's like, why don't you take the demon blade back and you can hold the dogs off? And she's like, no, you need to keep that because you got to go kill the swarmy dick, as she refers to Crowley. I thought you'd like that one too. But
and
then shit gets weird because she
or
goes,
hot. I don't care. Like whichever way you want to say it.
I mean, weird can be hot. I'm just saying it's weird.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
weird is probably generally hot. So
yeah. She walks up to Castiel and kisses him. And does he, recoil in disgust because she's an abomination? Oh, no. He turns her around and makes out with her against the wall while she is slowly stealing his angel blade.
Yeah. Well, she's got her hand in his pants and taking out his blade, or in probably his trench coat, but whatever. But also, just like that, like, guys, if you don't know this, every woman wants that. Every woman wants that.
Turn around and push him against the wall and kiss him. That thing.
Yeah. I mean, only consensually. Consensually, we want that.
Yes.
Like, don't do that to random women on the street.
It's like when the nice kiss starts and it's mutual, and then the passion grows mutually.
Yes, and
then
the passion builds. Yes, she kissed him first, and then yeah. That was hot. It was just it was.
So,
and apparently, that porn was really good.
Yeah, because Castiel makes a reference to the pizza man. Oh, so now she's going to take the angel blade and hold off the hellhounds while Cass, Sam, and Dean make a run for it. That's pretty impressive.
She is, and she's going to stab her poor invisible puppers.
Yeah.
So then we see our 3 amigos walking down the hallway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're on the stairs and looking around, and then there's a bright light, and Castiel disappears. Oh shit, someone angel booped out Cass. Who was it? Oh, fucking Samuel. Fucking Samuel has the little angel sigil thingy on the wall and pushed his hand on it to make the angel sigil thingy is what I wrote. It's just, that's how like specific.
Diana's favorite angel sigil thingy. Yeah. And he sold out his son, like his grandsons,
and demons grab Sam and Dean, and Crowley's there and is like, calls Samuel the best purchase I've made since Dick Cheney. Yeah.
And for children of today, I don't know, this is what the internet's for. Go look it up.
Yeah.
All right. So Crowley says he's going to do away with them, and he has the demon lackeys taken to his cell. And this, I'm like, why don't you just kill them?
Because he's going to make it complicated and drawn out like he does.
I think, yeah. And perhaps like he had like an arrangement with Samuel. Like maybe Samuel was decent enough to say like, don't kill them. Like you can't kill them or something. Maybe. But.
So he locks them up in separate rooms and we cut back to Meg. Meg has been able to kill the hellhounds. It's fairly impressive. But she's also injured. And then she
killed a bunch of dogs.
Yeah. She's walking down the hall and guess who's there? Demon Christian.
Fucking Parker.
And he hits her.
God.
And takes the knife.
Yeah. He takes the angel blade.
Yeah. Not good. So we cut back to the cell that Dean is in, and he's yelling to Sam because they're in adjacent cells, because of course they are, that he's standing in pee. Ew.
And I said maybe iguana thieves are in there too, because that is what our guide in Honduras told us about in the jail, that everybody peed everywhere. Yeah. So,
but Sam's response is, "Consider yourself lucky." So I guess Sam's standing in something worse. Then Samuel shows up to visit Dean at his cell. Like, how dare he show his face? But whatever.
Little asshole. And he opens up the little jail peephole.
The jail peephole.
Now, I don't know what to call the jail peephole. And I think we've discussed this before. There has to be a word for this. Someone tell us what the fuck a jail peephole is called.
Yeah. So Dean calls Samuel out for not putting blood first. But he's like, no, you chose... Samuel's like, no, you chose Sam over your mom. And Dean's like, what are you talking about?
Fuck?
You're choosing a demon over your grandsons. But Samuel's like, I don't even fucking know you guys. Who are you to me? And that really just sets Dean off. He's like, next time you see me, I'll be there to kill you.
Because you're a terrible person.
Yeah, sorry, Grandpappy.
Yeah, there's just some super family drama. And then the cell opens and our Miami Vice Club bouncers are there. And they're going to take him out while Sam paces.
Yeah. And Christian now has Meg strapped to the same type of table that Ruby was strapped to in the past. And it's...
I don't like it. Still don't like it. It's real weird.
Quote,
it's so weird.
Carve information out of her.
Don't like it.
Well, and while that's going on...
I also just really hate that weird chin strap. I think like that's what, like, it's not even like, why do you have, like, why is this weird band across her crotch? Yeah. Like, that's one, like, and then you got one weird one across her nipples. Yeah. And then you've got the weird chin shit.
Was the chin one to keep them from opening their mouth to cock smoke out?
I think it's to keep them from, like, cock smoking out.
But you can't in that building anyways.
You can just put a devil's trap over their head.
I don't know. So,
like, what you don't need, like, whatever this is, I don't know. I don't like it.
So Christian's carving up Meg on the creepy table. Dean's getting led away by demons to God knows where. And Sam is in his cell and crouches down real creepy and bites his own wrist and to make himself bleed.
He just nods on his arm. Hot.
It's just weird. Dean's in this weird room with tubs full of entrails and other things, a bloody plastic sheeting on the wall. Like, I don't really know what this place is. It might have been
he's
a bath.
In the he's in Asylum 13. Like, this is the haunted house that's getting put out this year. But also, he's pulling back curtains. Like, you don't do that. No, you don't go. No, you leave that curtain alone.
You don't want to know what's
behind it. You don't need to know. No, you don't, sir.
And the demons throw two guys in there that are kind of bloodied up, and they call Dean breakfast. So I don't really know what these guys are, though. They don't really say. They just kind of throw these guys in there.
They're ghouls.
Oh, okay. I was unclear.
It comes out somewhere in here, and somehow we know they're ghouls. I think he says it. I think he tells Sam.
Oh,
but or it's like how like he decapitates when they're fighting.
Got it. And then while that's going on, which is not going to be good, two demons go get Sam and tell him he's going to join their brother. But ends up, guess what Sam cleverly did with that blood he drew it from his own arm? Draw a fucking devil's trap, like you suggested, on the ceiling in blood. And we get a real creepy smile, though, from Sam. The bloody
It's
smile.
he's got total fruit punch mouth, and like that's a lot of like that was a very large circle, and I guess like he wanted to get them both in there, but so I mean, yeah, that's a you nod out a bunch of your arm.
It's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then we get back to Christian torturing poor Meg.
And well, Dean's fighting off these two ghouls.
Oh, sorry.
And yelling while Sam is trying to find him. Sam finds the room, pulls a pipe off the wall, and fucking baseball bat beans these two motherfuckers in the head, and then stabs them.
But
Was it hot? Was it hot,
like,
Liz?
yeah, I mean, it was fucking hot. But I mean, like he ripped a fucking pipe off the wall.
It was
like,
pretty impressive. And then like full on swings this pipe like a baseball bat and just like boom on both these guys.
Was also very Dominic Toretto in Fast and the Furious 9 when he like has the wrench and he's beating the guy who's like responsible for it. Anyways, so yeah, I think it probably had some cross things to Fast, but anyway, so he's just beating these ghouls with the pipe
and then stabs him. But this is what was going on while Meg is being tortured by Christian. And she continues, she is on point with her sexual innuendo and references. That is for sure. And they're still making all these jokes, but then she starts laughing, and Christian's not really sure why. He's very confused because she's
before she gets to that laughter, she does say like this one thing that was like, this was pre-Me Too, where she says this body was an actress who went to LA and this is not the worst thing that happened to her probably. And I'm like, oh damn, that's dark. That's dark, guys.
Yeah.
But so then she starts laughing
because Christian gets stabbed from behind with the demon blade by Dean. Whoop, whoop. And
gladly.
They free.
Dean is just like, wee! Like you've never seen somebody so happily stab somebody. Yeah, and you know he's been wanting to like do this for a while.
Oh yeah,
just like
that guy was dead.
Yeah.
And then he unties Meg.
You're extra stubby.
And I think this is kind of interesting. So I know it is. I wasn't surprised, but Dean's been so resistant to working with demons, but he was still willing to go save Meg. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that intends at being like if, and it's kind of a Winchester thing too. Like once you're in the fight with them, like you're in the fight with them, right? Like even if you're a demon, we're not going to go back. Like it just you were in the fight together, And we'll sort our other shit out later, but we have a common purpose right now, and it's Crowley.
Yeah. Well, Crowley's, speaking of, going to visit our djinn and asks her if she's feeling chatty because he wants to know about her daddy. I didn't mean to rhyme.
She's just the cutest. Like this is Brigitte, and you remember her from. She's the one who poisoned Dean, but she's just the cutest little goth girl. Whatever.
But while he's talking to her, one of the alarm bells goes off, like a fire alarm goes off in the building. So he has to go go find out the source of that. And who does he find? Dead Christian and Dean.
Yay, dead Christian.
And so Sam bonks him on the head from behind, and there's a devil trap on the ceiling. So Crowley is kind of sort of trapped for a moment.
He is trapped.
Yeah. And Meg is there also, and she comes out. Crowley promptly calls her a whore.
Well, but it was also, he calls her a whore, but it was also just in a lovely exchange because she goes, Crowley, and then he goes whore, and so just like the pacing of that, like I just like that timing of it. It was so good. And so, but then I kind of like flash back to because Sam wants his soul back, and it is like in my brain I always go back to Crowley mocking Bobby when he wanted his soul back. It's like, I want my soul back, you idiot. Yeah. And so like that's all I could think of right here is Crowley being like, I want my soul back, you idiot.
Well, somehow Meg has some like crazy demon powers to be able to harm Crowley without even touching him. So she
Alistair.
bad bitch demon powers. I don't know.
She's 100% that bitch. I told you.
You're right.
She was like, pew.
And while she's doing this as her torture, she's torturing Crowley without touching him. And Sam says he wants his soul back. anyways, it's just all weird. But Crowley's like, no. So there's.
Well,
it's just a
he
weird
says no,
exchange.
you can't get it. You can't get it back, and basically, it's like he's useless and he's Meg. But then, like, and I'm just going to kind of jump some things, but he really kind of reiterates, Sam, you don't want this back.
He says exactly what Castiel and Dean discussed. He says the same thing unprompted. That basically, you don't want that back. You're going to be fucked up and it's probably going to kill you or worse if we put your soul back in you now because it's been there for so long. And Sam's like, and Dean's very upset by this. Dean cannot accept that this is the truth in this situation.
He is just like, I don't know. He wants his soul bad. He is just like, I need Sam's soul. And he's just like really stuck on this.
Yeah. And so Meg has the demon blade. And says, "Look, will you let me back out of the devil's trap?" And
sure.
And they're like, because Crowley's useless, so she's gonna go for him. And she's, so calls Crowley pompous and says, "This is for Lucifer." But as soon as she steps inside the devil's trap, he like body slams her and throws the demon blade into the devil's trap in the ceiling.
Yeah, Meg. Oh shit, you're fighting above your weight class here, honey. Like, maybe this wasn't the best idea.
And then he demon flings Sam and Dean across the room and has Meg held at knife point. But who flaps in?
Cass flaps in, and we get a very snarky Crowley saying, Cass, I haven't seen you all season, which is... This is the first time they've seen each other. Like Cass and Crowley have been in a scene together all season. So
funny. But Crowley's prodding him a little bit. We get a little bit more detail about what's going on in the war. And he's like, yeah, it sounds like you're losing to Raphael. It makes Vietnam look like a roller derby. And I was like, oh, it's a roller derby reference.
Roller derby.
So what is Castiel?
Also, like, roller derby is like, I don't want things, well, I guess compared to Vietnam. Okay, whatever. Yeah. But y'all bitches were gross and mean.
Gross and mean? Oh, what kind of
way.
So, but Castiel's carrying a bag, and what's in this bag? What could it be?
He's got a boner for Crowley.
He does. Second time this episode he's gotten a boner. No.
Oh,
sorry.
Damn! All right. Okay, so we're on fire right now. So
so Castiel has Crowley's bones and is basically like, yeah, you didn't like hide these as well as you thought you did. So I'm going to ask you the questions now. Can you restore Sam's soul or not? And
no,
Crowley says, I can't.
Choop.
So,
and he just torches him, which is also like, I kind of like appreciate this because I'm just like, okay, finally, like someone does something decisive. Okay, like, can you help me? No. Cool. Peace out, bitch. We're moving on to the next thing.
And Sam, he gone.
Yeah. And Sam pulls the knife from the ashes. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Yeah. And Meg's gone too, though.
She has vanished because she's smart.
She disappeared. And yeah, and so, but of course we have to get a crack from Dean about.
I don't like it. So the crack is that Dean says he would have given Cass an hour with her before he killed her, and it's funny,
but it's gross.
Because Cass is like, I don't understand why. Mm-hmm. So the joke is that Cass doesn't understand why he would want an out, but
right.
But it's not funny. No. Because it's gross. Yeah. So vomity gross. Okay. Yeah. And a woman was a showrunner right now, guys. So, yeah. Okay. So at the car, Cass is like, we're doing some, confessionals.
Like we do at the end of the episode by the car. It's what we do by baby. We talk it out. And Castiel is like, yeah, Crowley's right. It's not going well for me up there. There's not really anything you can do, but I just thought you should know. And they're like, look, we're your friends, so we get it. You go do what you need to do, but if there's something we can do, we'll help. So, but But Sam and Dean now have to discuss the practicality of what's in front of them.
But also Sam says, if you really want to help, there is a prison full of monsters.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's the practicality. We have a prison full of monsters. We can't leave them and we can't let them go.
Because they're just not going to kill themselves. No. And so... But I mean, so Party's just like, well, you're gonna go kill poor Brigitte, like, even though like she already poisoned Dean, like that poor bitch, like I think she like paid like her debt back when she got tortured by Crowley for so long, like, so he's just gonna go kill all these monsters, not demons, but just all these monsters, and so he's euthanizing the prison.
That's dark.
Ew, so dark. It's so dark, and.
So
I don't know. My show of monster prisons never gonna happen.
That's it's not good. So we've got Sam and Dean though discussing what's next because they still don't have an answer. Now they've got feedback on the potential to retrieve Sam's soul, and they're gonna talk about it. Dean's like, well, we just got to figure out a different way to get it because he's not hearing what everybody's telling him. And Sam's like, no, both angels and demons are agreeing this is not good. That's a pretty big sign that it's not good. And I don't want it back. If that's the case, I'm better off without it.
Right? Like, if someone came to you and was like, would you, like, we can do this thing that's going to possibly, I don't know, there's a very big conundrum that's in here. But once again, Sam doesn't know. Sam can't make this decision because he doesn't have a soul.
Right. And that's
if you're going on the basis of what a soul is, he cannot logically make that decision for himself. You have to, someone with a soul is the one who has to like weigh those choices. And frankly, if I was given, it's kind of, probably would come down to like the idea of, like living wills and shit. Like, would you rather risk, your person being a vegetable or something like that? Or, than having
a soul.
And like being better. And I also want to argue that Sam's not better with a soul. He is much more attractive this way.
That's very complicated, and I'm not going to unpack that today. But yeah. So Dean, though, you're like we said, he is not sold on not getting Sam's soul back. So he just tells Sam that he's like, you're wrong. But what does Sam do? He just walks away. He's not going to have the argument. There's no point with Dean. Dean doesn't.
Don't walk away, Sam.
I feel like I would feel strongly. I get it. But he is not hearing what the warning that he's being given is here. And I think that there's some real process. He has to process the information. He hasn't done that. He's not. He's hearing, but he's not listening.
He's not listening. You have to listen, Dean. That's part of it. But again, Sam can't make that decision for himself.
That checks.
But also, like, why do you hate this Sam so much, Dean? He's a little creepy, but like, he's the better hunter, though. I'd bang him. All right, so do we have a casting couch?
Casting couch. It's the casting couch. Were they on that show that time with that guy? La 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 la.
We do have some casting couch today. So we are going to talk about one specific person only because we've seen all of these people pretty much before. So, and that is one of Crowley's minions who says your favorite line about being a little bitch. He is played by Conrad Coates, and Conrad Coates has a pretty extensive career. It goes back to 1989. A significant number of appearances on single episodes of television shows, TV movies, and smaller roles in feature films. I'll give a quick, there's a lot. So I'm going to do just kind of like a hit list of some of the things you may recognize him from. Halad in La Femme Nikita series.
I love La Femme Nikita.
Yeah, Agent Hauser in The Sentinel, the movie. Ballantyne in Kyle XY. He was an ongoing character. Hephaestus in the movie Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, that one. Bartik in Tron Legacy. He was a Pentagon General Fields in X-Men Apocalypse. Terrell in Star Trek Discovery. Dionysus Johnson in Welcome to Marwyn. Dwyer in Shadowhunters. And Dennis Latham in, I only added this one for you, in Escaping the Nixium Cult. So, you like your cult shows, so.
I do, and I'm pretty sure I've seen that. I don't know. Although, I mean, like, after a while, like, I saw so many, like, you can only see so many things of the Nexium cult before you're just like, yeah, y'all are just blaming Allison for all of this. Yeah. So, now we started the beginning of this episode with me talking about how gross burping is. And now I'm burping as we get into the conclusion of the episode, is as karma's a bitch. All right. So, what did you think of this episode?
So, in some ways, it was super fun. I think it had a really good plot driver on the soul conversation, but I also felt like it was kind of throwaway in other ways. Like, it was fun. It had good lines and things, and it carried on the conversation about the soul. Other than, like, we lost Crowley. That's a big deal, I guess. And then, and Samuel's a dick, but we got this partnership with Meg, kind of, but she bailed, so not really.
Do you really think Crowley's dead?
Oh, no, of course not.
I'm like, it was like, okay, like a season.
Hold on. I'm far enough into this series to know that I never trust if someone's dead.
Yeah, you never trust anybody, never trust anybody's going to be dead.
For long.
But yeah, I do agree that there's like that throwaway thing.
It doesn't make it not fun. It was an enjoyable episode overall. I felt like it didn't feel like it was a heavy hitter, if you will.
Yeah, I think it was clever. Like, the writing was clever enough that it made me interested in the episode. Yeah. And also, Monster Prison, I love this concept. And so, because we have been so long without Liz's books, I've missed them so. And there was something about this episode that I did want to read from the Supernatural Companion. And so apparently there is supposed to be like a Cthulhu type like monster in this, but basically it just got too expensive. But in the first draft, Dean gets thrown into this underground pit where there's just sand and a huge trough of water. He starts digging and finds a bone and realizes he's been thrown into a monster pen. Then this huge tentacle reaches up and grabs him and sucks him under. Sam busts out with a fire axe and chops the tentacle off and pulls him out. But Dean's leg's all messed up. It was going to be this very bold step into the realm of monster, but it was just too expensive. And then it goes da-da-da-da-da. And then in the mid-season shooting break, Bob Singer was less convinced than the rest of us, but Eric was like, no, we can do it. So we thought, great. But so many other things in the episode were so ambitious that it became the thing that went away. And ghouls are good, but I think we will always miss the tentacle. Ooh. I do love that Brett Matthews was like, the ghouls are good, but we will always miss the tentacle. Not testicles, tentacle. It is very dramatic. But I mean, so this idea of Monster Prison, like I think it's highly enjoyable for the show, and I really wish it had been fleshed out more.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done so much more with it if they were really going down that path. I feel like we missed a little bit with there, but
I mean, granted, we had seen this, like, Whedon did it in Buffy when they had the thing below the college, oh god, the Adam season, whatever. But they had the hostels in there, so they did that. But I think it could have been fun to have like this kind of like your memory lane of like these are the demons. And they kind of did it, but it was less obvious than like you're going to a zoo. Do I just want to go to a monster zoo?
Yes.
I think that's it. I think I just want to go to a monster zoo.
It'd be less sad than a monster prison.
It is. I mean, would ethical monster zoo made for the understanding of conservation and rescue of
no, just go to monster prison. Never mind. Fuck.
All right. So on that note, anything else? You good?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Cheers, Rick.
Cheers, bitch.
Devil's Trap Podcast is a Don't Be a Dick production. Meow.
Devil's Trap Podcast is part of the Ship It Studios Podcast Network. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Devil's Trap Podcast, Twitter at Devil's Trap Pod, or you can email us at devilstrap@devilstrappodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave reviews, and share with all your friends. We're at all your favorite podcast outlets and at devilstrappodcast.com. I'm Babe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.